Good morning, good evening, good whatever you're having, wherever you are. Greetings, seekers of the shadow. Welcome to Occult Catalyst, where we dive deep into the mysteries of the spirit. Today we're exploring the enigmatic, I cannot say that word, but I like it, and powerful entity Lilith. Often misunderstood, profoundly transformative, and an emblem of true spiritual sovereignty. Join me as we uncover the dual nature of Lilith, my personal experiences with her, and why she might be the key you've been searching for on your path to deeper knowledge and power. Unveiling Lilith. Lilith's story begins in ancient texts, not merely as a demon or dark figure, but as a symbol of independence and the refusal to submit to anything less than equality. From ancient Sumeria to Jewish folklore, she challenges us to question the narratives imposed upon us and to reclaim our power. In the realm of modern spirituality, Lilith represents the transformative power of the shadow, helping us to integrate all parts of ourselves into a harmonious whole. She is the dark mirror reflecting our hidden truths, urging us to embrace our full potential. I'm not going to go fully into it of the origin story of Lilith, but if you're not familiar with it, essentially in Sumeria, Lilith was a grouping of night demons called the Lilith, and then she also has ties to Inanna, so that was kind of her first form was Inanna. And then in Jewish folklore, she is seen as the first woman, so she was the first wife of Adam, or first woman for Adam, made from the same substance he was, so they were meant to be equals. But Adam wanted to assert his dominance over Lilith and have Lilith be submissive to him, and Lilith did not like that, as she wanted to be equals and both empowered. So she left the Garden of Eden, and when she did, she muttered the four-letter word of God, which is Yod He Vav He. That's the true name of God in Jewish texts. And so through doing that, she gained magical power and the power of creation. So she started to birth her own offspring, which were the demons. And so God sent angels to go and retrieve Lilith and put a stop to it. And they basically struck up a deal where Lilith could keep doing her own thing and birthing demons if they could kill so many of them per day. So they would sacrifice so many of Lilith's offspring. So that's kind of the origin story. There's more to it, and that could be a whole nother video, but I really want to touch more upon like the practical aspects and stuff you'll utilize and is important for you to know. So that's what's important here. My journey with Lilith began at a crossroads in my life, a moment filled with darkness and uncertainty. Going off script here, so bear with me. I was in a very dark place. I think I kind of touched upon this, but in September of last year, I was basically set on ending my life. I have bipolar disorder, so I have like very strong ups and downs, depression or mania as it's called, and I experienced the whole spectrum of it. So thankfully it's been really under control since doing spiritual work, since working with Lilith specifically, since working with my psychiatrist, my counselor, working on medications, keeping everything in line and in balanced. You know, I do want to take a second to say, if you are somebody that is dealing with mental health stuff and you are delving into the occult or thinking about delving into the occult, whether you're new to it or, you know, an advanced practitioner, it's very important to evaluate your mental health and see where you're at before diving into this deep inner work. It can be disturbing, you know, it brings up a lot of emotions, it stirs up a lot of traumas and repressed stuff that you might not necessarily be ready for. So it's important to evaluate where you're at mentally, actually, and, you know, be clear on working with your mental health providers and stuff like that, you know. And I know that this is a sentiment that's been said time and time again, but I at least want to advocate my piece of it and say that it's something that I personally deal with. I deal with mental health issues, and I'm very deep into the occult, and I think that it can be super beneficial, but it has to be integrated and used in the correct way, and you have to remain a degree of skepticism, and you also have to be grounded and realistic, and your grounding is super important if you have any type of mental health disorder. So just want to throw that out there. But during my super dark time where I was set on ending my life, I basically had given up all hope, like total desperation. And the only thing that I found that was going to get me through was if I could have some connection with the divine, some personal connection, a daimon, if you would, right? And so I continued work with like Golden Dawn order type magic, and eventually was drawn to the Qliphoth. And so I entered into the Qliphoth, and early on in the Qliphoth, you start to work with Lilith because she is one of the gatekeepers of the sphere of Gamaliel. Some use her in the sphere of Nehemoth as well, which is actually Nama, but her and Lilith are actually sisters and aspects of one another, so really close to being very, very similar, but different spheres and different influences. After I worked with Lilith in the sphere of Gamaliel, I kind of put it to the side and wasn't really working with her as much, even though I was deeply moved by her energy and the profound changes that she caused with me in that sphere. When I came back a few months ago and revisited her and started working with her energy again and invocation and channeling and stuff like that, I was deeply moved by like the profound bond that we had in relationship, which was entirely unique to us and her energy compared to other entities that I had worked with. It became a super devotional, just unbridled love where there's not ego, there's no self, it transcends self. So my working with Lilith has really turned into a form of bhakti, which I'll touch upon in a little bit, but super profound. It was Lilith's guidance that brought clarity and strength. Our connection is not rooted in fear, but in respect and divine love, or agape, a love that transcends self, a true partnership where growth is mutual. I work with Lilith as a form of bhakti, a form of divine yoga wherein one loves an entity in its entirety, wishing to merge into oneness with it. It is not a love of ego or of desire, but of liberation and attainment of moksha. Moksha is the breaking of the cycle of death, rebirth, life, all that. So separating from samsara, the wheel of life. She communicates through signs, dreams, and sudden insights, even full thought transference and full conversations, always pushing me towards self-realization and the courage to stand in my truth. Having opened myself to her fully, I have become a channel of her energy and a vessel for her to inhabit. This has given me access to gnosis and divine insight, as well as abilities like automatic writing. Each interaction with her deepens my understanding of myself and the universe. Practical work with Lilith. Engaging with Lilith requires courage. It's a path of confronting one's deepest fears, desires, and past wounds. The work involves intensive shadow integration, where even the darkest parts of oneself are acknowledged and transformed into sources of strength. Rituals with Lilith often take place under the dark moon or the full moon, involving offerings, invocations, and meditations that align with her energies. This is where deep transformation occurs, in the silent communion with the night and the self. Why walk with Lilith? For those who feel stifled by societal norms or who are seeking empowerment through spiritual means, Lilith is a guide worth considering. She aids in breaking the chains of limitation, bringing liberation, and an authentic understanding of one's personal power. Her guidance is invaluable for those ready to transform their pain into power, their fears into wisdom. Lilith empowers her followers to reclaim autonomy over their lives and their spirits. Next section, I kind of want to talk about something different that doesn't get talked about a lot, and that is the goddess side of Lilith, the light side. And I think this gets left out way too much because she is dual-natured. She has two sides. When we speak of Lilith, the conversation often veers towards her shadow aspects, her role as the rebel, the outcast, the dark mother. Yet there is another facet to her that is equally powerful and transformative, her divine light, her goddess side that nurtures, heals, and uplifts those who seek her guidance. Lilith as a divine goddess represents the untamed wilderness of the spirit, the primal source of female empowerment and wisdom. She is the sovereign of her own existence, a beacon for all who have felt suppressed or marginalized. Her light is one of enlightenment, encouraging us to find our own paths to spiritual autonomy and self-actualization. In her role as a goddess, Lilith teaches us the sacredness of our desires and emotions. She shows us that our true nature, once fully embraced, can lead to profound insights and personal freedom. This aspect of Lilith is nurturing. She guides us to heal from societal and self-inflicted wounds, and she empowers us to stand in our power gracefully and assertively. Moreover, Lilith's light side embodies the transformative power of the dark moon. Unlike the full moon where everything is clear and visible, the dark moon's energy is subtle yet profoundly deep. It is during the dark moon that Lilith's goddess energy can be most palpable, as she aids us in delving into the depths of the unconscious, bringing to light the hidden treasures of our inner truths. It is here in the quiet darkness that we find the seeds of new beginnings, the roots of genuine growth. Engaging with this light side of Lilith does not mean rejecting her darkness, but rather integrating it in a balanced way that honors both the destructive and creative forces within us. Lilith, as the divine goddess, does not shy away from her intensity, but she channels it towards healing, renewal, and profound change. In your rituals and meditations, you can connect with this aspect of Lilith by invoking her presence during the dark moon, using symbols of rebirth and transformation like the serpent which sheds its skin to grow, or the phoenix, which rises renewed from its ashes. Offerings that resonate with purity and renewal, like white candles or moonstone, can also help align with her divine light. The energy of Lilith also ebbs and flows with the phases of the moon. During the waxing moon, her energy is focused on illuminating, bringing truth forward, and empowering the practitioner. While on a waning moon, her energy is focused on illuminating the shadows, integrating aspects of self, and deep emotional work. By embracing both the dark and light sides of Lilith, you embrace the full spectrum of her power as a goddess, of not only the shadow, but also of the profound and radiant light that guides us toward our highest spiritual paths. Daily devotions. My daily devotions to Lilith are as transformative as they are simple. They include lighting candles in her honor, chanting her ends to draw her energy near, and maintaining an altar where her presence can be felt continuously in my sacred space. These practices are not just acts of worship, but engagements of energy, creating a symbiotic relationship where growth is continuous and mutual. Major devotions. Lilith has been a major guide in my life, not just as the gatekeeper of the Qliphoth I initiated into, which I will teach you more about, but shortly after leaving her sphere, I revisited her and a deep bond grew between us, a bond that transcends lifetimes and is hard to put into words. I share a unique relationship with her that I do not share with any other entity, even beyond being my matron. As such, I spend a great deal of time and energy and devotion to her. I felt a calling to do something major in her honor of her, and so I felt intuitively to get a tattoo of her sigil, wrapped in the triple moon, with a rose as a mark and symbol of our eternal bond. To some this may seem foolish or risque, but Lilith has earned my devotion and eternal gratitude. Placing her mark on my body for as long as the ink shall last is an honor, and I'm ecstatic to show you my symbol of our bond. So it's kind of a work in progress. I have to get the rose colored in still, and the black and red still need to be touched up and stuff, but yeah, I have the demonic sigil on my body now. I never have to draw it anymore, I have it. I don't have to put blood into it anymore, or as an offering, or to charge it or anything. It's a part of me. That's how into integrating Lilith I am, and that's how profound she's been for me. That's why I work with her daily and have daily devotions, daily meditations with her, daily rituals with her. If another entity is okay with it, I bring her in as we work together, and just to have her energy present, because it's become a part of me. It's part of who I am now. I truly have integrated a lot of Lilith's energy, and I continue to integrate it. I mean, we're talking a multifaceted, near infinite being. So there's plenty to work on and integrate, but Lilith is definitely one that I absolutely dedicate my life and time and energy to. And Lilith is a big advocate of this channel and helps me to come up with a lot of the creative ideas and writing for the channel. Some of this is automatic writing, some of this I'm not even consciously necessarily writing, it's just through my own filters, but it's the energy of Lilith pushing it. So That's Lilith for you guys. I really hope that some of you are drawn to that energy. I know a few of you are, and we've been talking about it. I do have a book coming out that's a devotional book to Lilith. It's going to include some powerful rituals, some poems, a few essays, and a few just like devotionals, basically. So far, I'm at like 120 something pages. I want to try to hit it like 150 and call it good. I'd like to have that try to be out by Halloween or so, but that's just me pulling that out of thin air, so we'll manifest it, baby. If you're drawn to the path of Lilith, approach with an open heart and a mind ready for profound changes. She is not just a figure of myth, but a present and powerful guide, ready to lead you through your shadow to your truest self. Thank you for joining me today on Occult Catalyst. For more insights and deep dives into the powerful entities of the occult, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your journey is just beginning, and together we can unlock the mysteries that await. If you're here to the end, thank you so much for being here. It's amazing what this channel has already done so far. I think we're up to like 20 subscribers, which blows me away already. I would have been at my goal if 20 people watched a video, let alone interested in watching more. So please, thank you so much for being a part of this. If you made it to the end, please drop a comment down below, even if it's just to say what's up. But if you have any questions, insights, things you want to share from your practices with Lilith, with me, drop them down below. I'm excited to hear those. I love connecting with you guys. I try to answer and get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to join us on Reddit, on our subreddit, Occult Catalyst. I do have tarot readings going right now for $10. You can hit me up on my email, occultcatalyst@gmail.com, or on my Instagram, lvxtarot. I'm also offering attunements. So I will offer an attunement of Lilith, or I will offer an attunement of Lucifer, as well as Clonic. So those three energies, if you're interested with working with on a deeper level, if you have been working with those energies and you want to expand to where you can work with them on a deeper level, I would love to talk with you about, sending you an attunement and getting you some of that energy signature of that entity so that you have a deeper connection with it from the get-go. So till next time, guys, thank you for joining Occult Catalyst. I'm ever grateful that you choose to be here with me any bit of time of your day. It truly means the world to me, and this is a blessing to get to do this at all. So thank you. Blessed be.